July 1st, 2020. Today, our neighbors to the north celebrate Canada Day, or as I like to call it, Metric 4th of July. The holiday commemorates the date when Canadians threw off the shackles of an oppressive overseas monarchy to declare itself a free and independent state. Nah, I'm just playing. According to the source of all truth, Wikipedia, July 1st is just the anniversary of the Constitution Act, which united 3 colonies into a single dominion, whatever a dominion is. Anyway, Canada still belonged to the Brits and would remain so until it no longer featured the Queen on its currency in... well, I'll have to get back to you on that. Meanwhile, here in southern Canada, we're preparing to set off virtual fireworks, which will surely be greeted by the typical oohs and ahs of jam-packed crowds. Or is it the other way around? Real fireworks greeted by zooms and Dr. Oz. The stupid virus means that most, but certainly not all, local celebrations will be enjoyed from the comfort of home. One notable exception is Mount Rushmore, where thousands are expected to gather to welcome Mr. and Mrs. Dear Leader. Dress code, summer casual, masks optional. About those masks. You know, in a typical election year, candidates and their supporters would be arguing over such trivial matters as the economy and war. But in the year of our Trump 2020, the electorate is sharply divided over statues and face masks, and whether you should protect yourselves and others or not, because things gotta breathe, as one Florida, where else, woman said in explaining her reason for going commando. Other women in Palm Beach County accused their commissioners of everything from being part of a deep state conspiracy, quote, knowing that mask is killing people, wanting, quote, to throw God's wonderful breathing system out the door, and, quote, practicing the devil's law in mandating masks. So how about this, white women of Florida? You don't have to wear a mask in public as long as I don't have to wear pants. Fair is fair, and things gotta breathe. Anyway, unlike those who have lost their jobs or been required to burn vacation time to save their employers money, the virus decided not to take the summer off. Quite the opposite, as luck would have it, with cases skyrocketing in Texas, Arizona, and, Florida. Oh, California too, lest anyone think biology favors blue states. You know what else isn't taking the summer off? Stupidity across the political and racial spectrum. The Black Lives Matter movement is morphing from genuine anger over inequality and systemic racism into empty gestures to deface or destroy statues and rename institutions because the manners of their current namesakes fall well short of contemporary mores. And when it comes to reparations for slavery, you lose me unless you include every racial and ethnic group that has ever been victimized by genocide. Be careful what you wish for is what I'm saying. That said, white couples brandishing firearms as demonstrators march past their overly landscaped mansion should maybe calm the fuck down. Yes, the protesters were trespassing in your gated, natch, community, but waving a pistol at them while your chino-clad husband points a rifle is bound to be a violation of HOA regulations. Mark and Patricia Honey Bunny McCloskey really know how to put the filthy in filthy rich. And speaking of filthy, to the unwashed white people who occupied Seattle's cop-free zone, weren't you the same yahoos who protested the WTO for reasons that still aren't entirely clear 20 years later? You know what would help prove you really care about black lives and the Black Lives Matter movement? Actual black lives. Also, maybe fewer shootings. There were at least 4 when you're demonstrating against, police shootings. Now, please just go back to arguing in the coffee house over whether Queensryche was better than Nirvana. They weren't, and besides, Hendrix could kick all their asses. And that brings me back to my Canuck friends. Those of us in Baja Canada would really like to borrow your PM for the next 55 months or so. Help out a neighbor, spelled with a U, who's in a bit of a jam? I promise we'll return him with a full tank of gas, or petrol. And thanks for Bieber, but you can keep Celine Dion. Happy Canada Day.